Till shade is gone, till water is gone, into the shadow with teeth bared, screaming defiance with the last breath to spit in Sightblinder's eye on the last day. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Folks, we are in the second match of Week 1 in our 3v3 season, and we're up against a dude named Poop. So that's gross. Yeah, it's like... you never played this game just to be able to play against a dude named Poop, I'll tell you that. But we're up against it today, and so let's see how his roster is. I suppose I did win my most recent match. My opponent didn't attack, and so this opponent did not actually place a new defense. They let their old defense roll over. They've attacked and beat a couple teams of their opponents. I think they beat 10. So I wasn't sure what to expect. There wasn't much in the scouting report. My opponent sometimes attacks, sometimes doesn't, and so I just really wasn't sure what to think of it. Now, before we move along, folks, I do want to say thank you so much to all of my patrons. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the support and all the things you've done for me. You guys are amazing and deserve thanks and my gratitude, both. So, let's see. Oh, I want to show you guys my defenses. That's what we want to do here, guys. So here are my defenses. You can see three like kind of rows or columns. They're kind of hard to tell apart. I apologize for that, ish. I apologize-ish. But what I'm doing here with my defenses is we have two Galactic Legends on defense. So the front, the row with Darth Revan up top, and in that row, that's my bottom front zone. So we've got all the B or the A- teams basically, plus Lord Vader, which he's a Galactic Legend, so obviously even better. And then the back zone is the one with Fin Poe in there, Padme, Jedi Knight Luke, and another Galactic Legend, Supreme Leader Kylo, and then the good Night Sisters team that I really like. And then up top, we have other decent teams. And the idea here is, folks, you keep 4 Galactic Legends on offense, or thereabouts, depending on what you think you need. And then you put all of your really good teams, all of your A- teams, on defense. So you keep some Galactic Legends, and then the gap between really good teams and like what you have available is pretty palpable. Like we don't have Darth Revan, Jedi Luke, we don't have Commander Luke. There's a ton of teams in the middle there that you're missing, but they're all on defense, and it makes for a pretty pervasive defense in 3v3. So that's kind of the idea. Then we have Executor and Negotiator on defense as well, because why not? Let's just be dicks. Also because I want to win. But that being said, folks, let's actually jump into the fighting and let's get going. So here we are, guys, against Poop. I guess if you distill it down, that's what it is. There's also other words in there like wan and pad and ooh. There's all kinds of stuff. So here's his defense. Yeah. If you didn't see, there was a Shaak T squad with Echo and Echo, which is something I'd never seen. There's the Poggle team that can be countered or soloed by Nest. There's a Boba team that's pretty weird, like maybe wrong Wookiee syndrome. Who knows? Like they all look the same, kind of thing. Oh man, I don't like being racist, but sometimes. Is that Zenist? Like, I don't know, guys. I have no idea. I'm not trying to be offensive, though. Even if I am being offensive, not trying to. So, otherwise, Bad Batch, but without Echo in it, because Echo's with Shaak T. And then they also have this Basti team with Jedi Master Luke, and Jedi Master Luke has his health maxed out, which means that he did this specifically to make Jedi Master Luke really, really tanky under Basti lead, because Basti is going to have... she gives that bonus protection away, so it's problematic. We can't solo it with like Supreme Leader Kylo, which he's on defense anyways. But anyways, we've got to take down this squad in the bottom first. So we're taking or the zone in the bottom first to see what's in the back zone. My guess was that there's just going to be Rey in the back. That my opponent will have 2 Galactic Legends down, which, you know, that's not bad, but I just wasn't sure what to expect. So the idea here is we use Nest to solo this. We use 4 other teams that are decent to clear that front zone, but we don't want to use any Galactic Legends if at all possible. So we use Nest here. Droideka functionally can't kill Nest. You guys have heard me talk about it forever. So anyways, get 55, nice start, and now we're using a Bando Kuiil IG team. The idea here, folks, and I'm gonna get a drink here so you guys can just watch in silence, but we want to get Whistling Birds because those prevent revives, and once we do that, we also have healing immunity. Once we don't want Asajj to be revivable by Daka. Like that's how they start ramping off of each other, and it turns into a huge mess. So all the things I'm trying to do here, I'm just trying to not kill anyone until we get another Whistling Birds available. And once I'm able to do that, once I'm able to use Whistling Birds to take someone out, then we can maybe march forward and start, you know, like killing old Daka, killing whoever else, and winning via attrition. So anyways, go ahead and watch. I'm going to get a drink. Okay, so Asajj is gone. Now, all we've got to do, I probably should have applied the knife to Daka there, or done an AoE to take Daka out. Now she can heal herself potentially if we're not capable. But then IG was like, oh, I'll just bail you out and just gun down Daka. So 1 kill so far. Obviously Zombie is revived, and we also got to be careful, guys. We don't want to kill Zombie too much because, as you can see, old Daka is starting to ramp up her health. Every time someone dies, she gets another 10% health. So I mean, obviously, so far she's gained another 30% health to what her base is, and she's got decent relics on her. We've got to be careful because we don't get enough Whistling Birds to really kill her super easily. You know, like in one shot, even with a bunch of Whistling Birds. So she got a double stun on IG and Bando. That's actually fine because that helps us to ramp up our... If IG doesn't dispel it, which I guess he probably did. I don't know what the turn meter level was, but being able to ramp up your Whistling Birds is nice. And then you know, we ended up just killing old Daka naturally. So interesting stuff. Having the healing immunity and the shock on zombies. Shock on zombie was nice because zombie couldn't taunt in that case. So you can use Bad Batch. Bad Batch are really powerful, but in 3s, they're not quite as ridiculously broken. So, we're using the tech variant so that we can get the stun off, and we didn't quite get all of the stuns, but the idea is if we can get the stuns, they don't have echo, so I'm going to be faster if we use my echo. And as long as we get all the debuffs onto them, like just having Hunter do his double tap all the time, we don't necessarily need the true damage. I mean, true damage is nice. You can see that Tech has it right now, and he's doing some decent stuff. But even without it, as long as Hunter is able to just double tap and keep doing his thing, I mean, he's doing, what, 30k damage every time he shoots, every time he throws, so... nothing too crazy. Poor old Wrecker here is getting wrecked himself, and I don't know how Hunter has this many knives, but he is approximately 1 zillion knives short compared to what he was before. Now, this is one of my best available teams, actually, is the Jedi Revan team. And I mean, it's nice. It's a nice desperation move to be able to take out other Galactic Legends, but I figured I don't, unless my opponent has something miraculous in the back, like, so unless they have 5 Galactic Legends, in which case they're not going to clear, I'm not going to need my Jedi Revan team. And nothing up to this point had made me think that my opponent might put 5 Galactic Legends in the back. Like, most people aren't going to do that. Like, if you're going to do that, probably just put them in the front and hope your opponent doesn't clear, right? So, anyways, we're taking Jedi Revan here with Echo spam. It's super weird. I have no idea. It's very strange, but we got 54, and now all we've got is this weird Boba team with Han and Zalbar. So we're taking this Aurra lead bounty hunters team. So we call the mass assist from Grief, trying to stun Boba, because we got to control Boba. That's the main thing. Like, he's relic 8. He could ruin our day. He can one-shot any of us as long as we have some buffs on us. So get the mass assist on him, and was able to stun him, and then was able to even stun veteran Han from the privacy of our own stealth, and therefore Han was not able to counter even if we didn't stun him. But we got the 54. God wills it with Bronzium League, and we get to see what's in the back zone without having spent any Galactic Legends. So, I mean, if people place good teams up front, it's going to force me into uncomfortable situations. As it stands, they didn't really put anything too crazy. They put in that front zone, we could use a lot of like B-level teams to clear it, and that's super nice from a strategy standpoint. So he did have Rey with IG and Kuiil, which is one of the strongest variants in 3v3, but I mean, we have Sith Eternal available, and the rest of the teams aren't anything too crazy. So we're going to use Sith Eternal. Armor is acceptable use here, because armor, as long as you remember, you don't want to do the armor shred. You can see I almost did it anyways, but you just put those 2 Beskar stacks on Sith Eternal, because otherwise armor is not going to get another turn. Like, she gets 1 turn and that's it, and as long as she gets a turn that's not ability block, that's fine. Kuiil could conceivably take a turn and stun armor if Kuiil's fast enough, but my opponent was, and this isn't me throwing shade, but they didn't have really great mods. Like, they weren't really super fast, and their Kuiil was no exception here. Now, you'll note that I am switching, even in their ultimate, I'm switching Link, because I need to take Kuiil out. You can see that Shaak on my Sith Eternal, and the Shaak won't prevent me from regenerating my protection, but it will prevent me from regenerating my health, which is really important, obviously, because as Rey continues to hit me, I need to be able to get some health back. And so even though we're in the middle of Gambit Fight Night, and Solo was like, no, you can't Link, you gotta get the double protection boost back from the Link, I was like, you know what, we need to get the Shaak off of us, otherwise we could be in really huge danger. So killed Kuiil there, because IG wasn't taunting when I switched Links, which is the reason why I did that. And I don't know, I do think that was the right choice, actually. Now, I wanted to be hitting Rey there, but IG was taunting, and so I eventually just did the big hit and killed both of them. Pretty fancy. Now we have to take down this Jedi Master Luke, and I have Kenobi available with Cat, so it's like, why not do that? So we got to kill Jolee first, because if we kill anyone else, if we take anyone else out, Cat doesn't do a lasting kill on them. Like, she'll annihilate them or whatever, but it's revivable, and then Jolee will just bring them back. So gotta take out Jolee first, and then may as well take out Basti next. And once we do that, then all we have is this hugely stacked Jedi Master Luke, because he has pure modding for health rather than anything else to take advantage of that 200% bonus protection that is based off of his max health. So you can see in a little bit, Cat's going to do like a 200k hit on him, and it's not even going to take out all of his bonus protection. He's just got a huge amount of health. His health pool is crazy, and that's fine though, because he's not regenerating any of it. It looks like maybe he is, just because he has so much of it and we're not making much progress, but yeah, there was like a 194k hit and barely took out the rest of his bonus protection. So once we get through that, I mean, he can regenerate a little of his health, I guess, at this point, but we do have that locked debuff of healing immunity from GK. We have 3 armor shreds on him, and I mean, we're good to go, right? So 53 made me a liar on the stream. I said we were going to get max banners there, and then Ayla couldn't hold up her end of the deal. Now we're going to use the same comp again. This is a Relic 8 General Grievous, and we're going to use the same one as we used in the first match. So just get that fracture on Grievous, get as many armor shreds on B2 as possible, and then B1, is like we want to chip away at him because he's where all the damage comes from. That's where all the healing comes from. And even though B2 is doing all of the dispels, getting all of our damage, or not damage, the buff immunities on us, but we still we can't even do enough damage right now anyways. Like all of the damage from this comp comes from armor shred, and so we're just kind of spamming the event, not the event special, the Thrawn lead special, and to be able to cleanse from B2, and then we get a bunch of turn meter. We kind of just cycle through, and using those specials keeps Thrawn and his turn meter lower so that Grievous is able to take, Grievous stays fractured. And so obviously, Thrawn eventually will take another turn, but the idea here is with Grief, when we can, we want to use that special there that we just used to be able to reduce turn meter. We want Thrawn to be able to take turns so that Grievous still has not taken a turn yet, actually. So, we get him fractured again, and eventually, so we've got 4 armor shreds on B2, which is probably enough to do a lot of damage to him, actually. And every time he does his AoE, Thrawn is hitting back because he has counter whenever he's fractured. So, pretty nice. You can also use Gideon's his special to be able to reduce Thrawn's turn meter, which is super nice. So we killed B2 there, and then Grievous got max turn meter, but he was fractured, so he couldn't take a turn. And so now, inevitably Thrawn gets a turn. We do the half step, wasn't quite enough. Grievous did get an AoE off, but then we get fracture on him again, and we can get armor shred on him whenever we can, whenever he regenerates some of his protection from B2 or from B1, and otherwise, whatever his name is, Gideon is regenerating his protection. So is Stormtrooper, and look at that, we actually got to the point now where we're at max protection on both of them. Thrawn can't really, he has a small amount of protection left, so even if he takes a turn, he's not going to be able to heal his protection. So may as well just finish off Grievous as quick as we can. Oh, look at that, we got 1 heal for Thrawn. Wasn't quite enough, 53 though, and it feels a lot more consistent than using Mon Mothma, even though Mothra is pretty consistent. It's nice, 53 I think is pretty consistent there. So this is a blink if you miss it. He has a pretty bad Mothra team with the 2 pilots, and troopers settle the score pretty dang quickly. So 54 there, and then I think we have another blink if you miss it fight, if I remember correctly. Yes, so we have the Wedge Han Chu team. This is the social contract team. Everyone sets this on defense. Everyone uses the same team on offense to clear it. Well, that's been the case for a long time, but you just stun that Finn, you stun Poe, you make sure that Finn does not get a turn. That's the only way you ever lose this, is if you let their Finn take a turn. So if you keep him stunned and then take him out, even if it means Poe's gonna get a turn and you're gonna lose banners, kill that Finn first. So we got the kill. Now it comes to the speculative thing of okay, we only have 2 or 3 more teams left before we can just run the table with Galactic Legends for the rest. So we're just kind of chipping away at the edges, seeing what teams we can use. And this is one team I've been really excited about for 3v3 season, is this 5's lead with Rex and then Watt, because Watt will give the taunting tech to 5, so it'll keep him taunting. He's super tanky. And then you put the weapons tech on Rex, and granted, it doesn't ignore defense anymore, but with Rex, he ramps up his damage so much that you don't really need it against most guys, and the weapons tech also gives him a bunch of turn meter. Rex is also giving himself turn meter through his special, and then if there is a character, in this case there isn't, but if there was a character that can revive, Rex will deny them that revive ability, and because of the weapons tech, and it's just nice. The other nice thing is you can see all those little heal over time things. That's actually for protection from 5's lead, because as you continue on, every time you take a turn, you're actually regenerating your protection on every member of the team, which means you're pretty likely, if you win, to win with max banners. So this isn't really a stretch for this team. I think you can take out way stronger teams than this with this comp, but this is what was available to me that I thought they could take out. And I mean, obviously it worked like a charm. I'm excited to experiment further with that team. Really want to try it against that GL Newt. Now, this Qi'ra team with L3, got to take out L3 first before you can do anything. And remember that with Qi'ra lead, they're going to be able to regenerate their protection passively. So you can't just get Nest down to just health, because you can see already Nest is regenerating some protection. So, anyways, I made a small mistake here. Katie Monday should have just done a double basic on Nest here. Instead, I was like, no, I'll wait for my big hit to finish her off. But then, once we took out Qi'ra, Nest was going to have a huge health pool, or protection pool, and we'd have to wait for it to take a turn. As it stands, though, Kiadi Mundi just decided to do a 94k basic and go through all of those layers of protection anyways, so Nest was a non-factor. And now we've got Jedi Master Luke here. We've got 2 Galactic Legends to be able to use on the remaining teams, and this is a high relic Geo team. We're just using Jedi Master Luke's, he's relic 9, so he's got a massive pool of protection here, and we're just spamming his leadership to do like 80 some K damage every single hit, and we're good. We just melted those Geos, even with kind of leftover bad Jedi. We were good. So there's this crew team. This is a really vital thing to remember, guys. This Scav Rey is still pretty legitimate. You guys see in just a minute. She has this moment of awesome here. We're using Jedi Training Rey to obviously to counter this really weird crew comp. This isn't something that I would recommend anyone use, but my opponent used it, and I guess I was happy enough to accommodate him. We can use most teams to be able to counter it as long as we can beat their crew. And you can see though, their Scav, given the opportunity, almost just laid out R2-D2 there. Just not kind at all. Not what I would call loving, but you know, not too bad. I wasn't really thinking that well in the moment there when I used my mind trick on Scav, because if Scav had gone, then she would have probably swung at BB-8 because she had a lot of turn meter. That's why I ended up doing mind trick on her. She would have missed on BB-8, therefore healing R2-D2 a little bit because I have that Zeta. But as it stands, it's okay. We're good. Get the Illuminated Destiny off with BB-8, top off Jedi Training Rey and BB-8, and now you'll see in just a minute we go to 1x speed and hit him. I wanted to see how much health regeneration I got for R2-D2, and it wasn't enough. It was like 3,000. So it wasn't going to be worth our while trying to stall out for 3 minutes trying to heal him. He probably wouldn't have regained his health and protection back. So get a 52 against a bad team, but the bad team actually stole more banners than most of the good teams. So go figure. Now we have Rey left. All they have left is this Rex lead team, and their ARC Trooper is actually modded excellently. Has really high damage offense, and so the ARC turret, every time it goes, is basing its damage off of his offense stat. And so I was a little worried taking other teams in. Like, I could probably have found a good comp to beat this with, but I mean, why bother if you can have Rey come in and just get a 55? Couldn't quite get the 56, but now we find out, did he put Executor down in defense or not? And the answer is no. He opted for the Mon Calamari Cruiser defenses. So we're using Finalizer here against Rebels because I have Malevolence, but I don't want to do that. So put Hunted on him, have Silencer go stun the Falcon, and then have Special Forces TIE Pilot put his or call Silencer to assist, take out the Falcon, and then, I mean, beyond that, this isn't a fast Biston. If it was a really fast Biston, we would need a faster Special Forces TIE Pilot, but as it stands, this is a very slow Biston. I think one of them is actually not even gear 12, so one of the pilots for that ship. So anyways, you have that like clinch moment where like the rebels, even after you take down their Falcon, like they have like this really strong riposte, and they usually like kill shuttle or they kill one of your TIE fighters. You have this like oh crap moment, but everything's fine. 61, that's actually the most banners I've dropped in any fight so far. So dropped 5 from the soft max, and then going up against Raddus, they put the BTL bomber in. I don't know if they were just like looking for a tank, like a replacement for Houndstooth or something, but that's not the answer. So having Rebels go, you have the RNG moment of will Falcon, Millennium Falcon, Ray's Falcon dodge a million times, and if it does, then you might be screwed. But didn't happen this time. We got 65 and the full clear one shot. With the final banners, it's pretty decent. We got 33-27. So the soft max for Division 1 is what, 33-38, I believe. So we dropped 11 banners total, and that's not bad. Like we dropped 11. 6 of those are in ships or in fleets, and then 5 of them were in squads. So pretty dominant. I'm pretty sure we just win. With the defense I placed, I don't think he's going to be able to only drop 11 banners. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll be resilient, but I'm actually just going to call it here on this video, folks, and we got to get it released. And you know, I've actually got a couple of really cool videos coming up, so we can't really hold this video. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think of you know, what was your favorite counter here? What's the most promising stuff? What's the most disappointing thing in 3v3s for you so far? And don't just say 3v3 because that's lame. I love 3v3. I don't know if I asked you guys before, but if I didn't remind you, please remember to leave a like or something, you know, a comment, hit that sub button, ding the bell, or actually don't, because screw that. But really appreciate all of the support you guys have been giving me. This channel's been growing, and it's due entirely because of you guys helping me with the mounting of said algorithm that I hadn't actually said anything about. So, thank you guys all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.